Here we go. There. So today we're just filling out some markings on a Zentraedi Regult pod from Macross. The kit decals are a bit lacking, so I'm filling in what I can find on the artwork by hand. How's everybody else doing? Wanted to be on a little earlier. Went up to a pick and pull with my car because a burned out car of the similar year was up there. And I wanted to get the grill, upper and lower, and some of the ground effects. But unfortunately, somebody beat me to it. So the lower grill alone is worth $100 brand new. So I was just trying to save a little money. Hey Aries, how you doing? So my day was otherwise occupied a little bit. I did take the car to the car wash. No, don't go to the next picture. Yeah, 6 feet up, right? Kind of have to look at it the same way. And you better stay that way. If you wind up in the ground before I do, I'll be very pissed. I'm the one that led the particularly unhealthy lifestyle. By a couple months. So the Enterprise is 99% finished. I put it up for a bit just to give it time to cure, because I gave it a rather generous satin finish coat. I could have gone through my decal stash and just found some old random aircraft warning stencils, but I figured it'd be more fun to try and do it this way. Kind of emulate that old 80s box art look, even though this is the newer Hasegawa kit. And it is an alien pod, so the writing wouldn't be in English, it would be in gibberish, so... Doing it this way keeps it gibberish looking. I don't expect the stream to be very busy today, though. And my nose is tickling like crazy. See how long we stay on. I might change it up to one of the Mecha Masume kits that I've got too. Got a neat one from Big Firebird. It's a company that did a third-party transformer of RC, and it got in big trouble with the cancel culture crowd because they heavily eroticized it. I mean, when you have a hentai artist design your transformer, that's kind of what happens, right? But they also released a test model kit, I guess, because I haven't seen anything else in the same line. Ow. And my back is killing me. It was such a shit show at work last night. There's a hair that got in my sealing layer of clear coat, so I'm just lightly scraping it to kind of get it out of there. So what are you up to today, Aries? You want to try and hit up some Fallout 76 later? Excuse me. I don't know because it's already 4 o'clock here. By the time I'm done, you'll probably be mid-raid. I am off tomorrow, though. And I've got no real plans to do anything tomorrow. Except try and get an earlier stream in the day. I honestly want to see if I can get this little pod done today, though. There's really not a lot to do to it. The weathering and flat coat will go pretty quick. Some sponge chipping on it. That's about it. Nothing extremely, like, crazy. I just want to give it the look of a pod that's used, a couple 100 years old. That's how the lore in Macross went anyway. The Zentraedi really couldn't make anything at the time. They just used what they had. So, or tomorrow we could work on the female Zentraedi battle pod. Just going to put one stripe on these lower guns. There we go. But I hope everybody's doing all right. This is my Saturday afternoon, technically. Next day off after today and tomorrow will be, I believe, Monday next week. So we'll have an earlier stream then. Why did I clean my brush out? I've still got red stripes to do in other places. Who's that? It's Marbles. Marbles, don't bump into me, okay, buddy? Why don't you go up on the couch and sleep by Arnie? What? Arnie's up there. You can go hang out. No worries, Sully. I didn't know if you were busy or not. I just figured I'd send you a little notice. There's the Marmar. He has joined us in the chair. Give me a second, Marbles. I'll give you some attention, okay, buddy? You gonna come down here? Okay. Good boy. Meow. Let's see if I can get our little friend in here. Here we go. Come on. Up, 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 up. There we go. You heard the meow over the microphone? He's actually quite talkative. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Come on. Up. Come on. Come on. But he's a crazy little boy. So I did update, or not update. I've got the parts now. I just need the time to get the car up on jacks to do the work. But I've got a complete set of leaf springs, bushings, and air shocks for the Camaro now. You getting down? Okay. I'm gonna turn this off. It's a bit warm down there. But once this is done, I'll have officially done more to this car than I did to my original. Too bad you don't live out this way, man. There's a couple Torinos for sale locally. Like I do. The only real know-how I have is screw go lefty loosey righty tighty. Take apart what I take apart and keep notes of how it goes so I can put it back together. For a lot of stuff, that's all you need to know. It's really no different than it's actually less difficult than working on an aircraft, to be honest. Now, when you start getting into the stuff like bodywork and shit, yeah, that's more specialized. I don't even know much about that, right? That's where the magic fairies live, and I don't go to Magic Fairyland unless I absolutely have to. I keep it in Mechanical Land. Those guys that do good bodywork, tried to R-square the points in the one you had before. You probably didn't adjust the dwell on the condenser. Usually it's just the thickness of like a business card or a relatively thick piece of card paper. But you also have to think, was this before or after you gained your mechanical knowledge from working on aircraft? I bet if you were still in high school. See, I bet if you tried it now, knowing what you know and how to follow rules and tolerances and, you know, shim thicknesses and torque values and things like that, you would probably do pretty darn well. I'm still learning. The only reason I didn't try and rebuild the engine myself is because I didn't have the space in my garage to fit it while I was doing all the work. That's the only thing that kept me from doing it. But even the engine, it's just about knowing torque values and tolerances. I know as it is right now, I'm going to need help getting the dashboard taken out so I can replace the pad. I don't fit in that area so well. $20 ago, maybe. Not anymore. But I'd like to get to the dash pad this year if I can, because I've been sitting on it for a year and a half, 2 years. Maybe this fall once things slow down at work again. Because I just got it back last fall and I had to do the break-in, so I wanted to run it, you know? Enjoy it for a little bit before I put it down for a few months. In the meantime, though, I've got a friend willing to help do the leaf springs. Lives near the house, so it's not like it's an hour drive away and I'll have to go rescue the car again. I bet if you got that Torino now, you'd have a lot more luck with it. And the only reason I know what I know about this car is the old one I had back in England. I'd never changed out a transmission shifter cable before until the cable in that one broke. It felt well. Fortunately, I had it in drive, when it broke, so I was able to get it home. Not like the BMW the year before that we had to leave abandoned out at Feltwell for 3 weeks while the radiator was built in Germany and shipped to us. And then there's the time the starter fried shortly after it got there, because the car was from a desert environment and not used to living underwater, and the entire wiring harness fried. That was fun. It's looking a lot better. See if there's anything else little marking wise I've got to add. Nope. That'll work. Trying not to sneeze. And failing. Gotta do it one more time. Where did marbles go? I see Arnie. Arnie, come here. I'm just glad everyone's doing okay, though. Ugh. Yeah. Overall, this wasn't a terrible kit. It's a lot better than the Bandai offering from about 42 years ago. Jesus Christ. Um, kind of has some of the same limitations, though. It is snapped together, which is odd for Hasegawa. Um, decals are quite limited for what they've done for other subjects in the past. Arnie? Arnie, don't chew on that. Hey. Excuse me. So, overall, not terrible. But compared to their other Macross kits, it feels a bit simplified. They do the whole range of variants, though. They have the missile ones, they've got the reconnaissance one. I don't know if they've released the commander's version yet, but I heard that was in the works. I'm sorry for sniffling. We got a storm coming in, so the wind and everything beforehand is kicking up the dust. Excuse me. I really gotta stop having the yawns like that. I guess that'll work. Or, in the next few models, since I kinda need a trek break for another couple weeks, because it feels like that's all I've really been working on. Should I go on a Macross streak since I've got 4 or 5 of these Macross models to work on? Still waiting on the replacement part for Deep Space Nine to show up as well. Oh, man. I might have to step off camera here for a moment and really give my nose a good blowout. I knew today would be slow. I'll definitely try and be on earlier tomorrow. Seeing if there's any other details that need to be painted black that won't be done by using wash. Looks like all the others are wash. Okay. But before we get to that, let's do... I need dark blue, medium gray. And I need to see if I have any sponge left. After I cleaned out my old desk, I don't remember if I kept any of it. Oh, I do. Cool. Hmm. Give me chunk. Okay. So the gray straight might be a little too dark. So we're mixing it with a little bit of white in the sponge. See what we can do with that. Because as I was saying earlier, these pods are supposed to be a couple 100 years old. Uh, like really, like the ones that are in combat are the ones that have survived that entire time. So they won't be pristine. Let's pull these off. I'll make that easier so I don't mix it up on the blue. And you also have to remember that one of these pods houses a humanoid the size of a Batroid Valkyrie. It's why they were developed in universe. We knew about the size of the Zentraedi, we just didn't know about the weapons. And you can't see squat because of the glare. Yay. I don't have that on. Let's do this. That's better. It's going alright. I went to go to a junkyard earlier today because there was a burned out Z28 that was up there. I wanted to get the grill, at least the lower grill off of it, and maybe some of the ground effects. Somebody got to it before I could. I was just trying to save a couple $100. How's it going with you? Yeah, because the new lower grill for a 78 to 81 Camaro goes for $100 right now. And I just spent 500 on new leaf springs, new bushings, and new air shocks. So that's all right. I'm sorry. I'm right there with you. I was up till about 3 a.m. And then I was up again at 8. So if you need to go and get some sleep, go. I'm sorry if I kept you up for anything with updates on the Enterprise. So yeah, don't stay up because of me. I've told other viewers, don't give up your personal health just to watch me work on plastic toys. Gotcha. Yeah, I've had a part sitting on my printer for 2 weeks now that I haven't taken off yet. Mainly because, one, I kind of lost my motivation, and two, the Enterprise has been taking up damn near all of my hobby time outside of, simple stuff. So I'm going to try and get back to that as soon as I can. Well, if you want to keep me on in the background, feel free. I don't have the loud music, though, so. What are you printing off? More stuff for the Eldar? Uh, actually, where did my latest print go? I don't know if it's... I want to get a couple regular kits done. So, I'll probably take a break from that anyway. But this will be my next one. My next figure, anyway. So that should prove to be a little fun. But I've got the lower skirt armor printed out for her. It's just that's what's sitting on the printer that I haven't touched in 2 weeks. So, bad me, I know. I'm a bad example. What do you mean? Mix your vat up. Oh, gotcha. I know my vat is clean, but if I have a doubt, usually what I do, especially if it's sat for a while, if I can't dump it out and just refill it, I'll run a tank clean. Because if there's anything in the resin, it'll have sunk to the bottom by now. And then the tank clean will trap it, and I can just peel it out. So you could try that, just doing a good vat clean on it, if it has that ability. Did my lights just flash? There's a possible thunderstorm heading in, too. It's supposed to rain tonight. You can do it. You got it, man. If you got this. Your motivation helped me get through the Enterprise. So, I'm gonna try and motivate you. Alright. I don't have time for bench oats today. It's hard to make something so obviously anime have a realistic kind of feel to it. But I'll try. But, yeah, you missed Arnie a little bit ago. He was down here bothering me. Marbles Cup climbed up into the chair. He's doing well, but you can tell he's not gonna match his pre-escape weight ever again. But as long as he's eating and not in obvious pain, not much we can really do. I'm gonna change out sponges. Oh yeah, and he knows to go and bug Jen for food. He'll go meow at her or rub up against her leg, and then she'll come out in the kitchen and he'll be up on the counter. And if he's still strong enough to jump up onto our counter, which is a good 4 foot height, then he's probably fine for now. I have a feeling when the end does come for him, it's going to be quick. I don't. Yeah, the glare is still kind of too bright. Let me do this. See if this has a intensity. Still too bright. You'll see pictures later. So how's everything going in the UK? I know everybody's all up in arms over some of the latest idiocracy that's been going on over there, especially concerning a certain Scottish Prime Minister and his new laws. Yay, fun. Seems like the sooner you get out of there, the better. I've only got 3 words for that. Orwell was right. Had I thought ahead more, I would have done salt chipping on this. No, our laws aren't as bad as theirs are yet, Aries. Note the yet. They literally have thought police over there now. According to what I've been seeing from the Scottish news services, yeah. Old lady got in trouble, falsely, for a comment made online that they thought she made. Not that there was anything wrong with it, but somebody didn't like it and reported her for her thoughts. Your freedom of speech is surely shot. Which are being severely abused. From what I understand on how those laws are written, I could say I don't like your channel. And you could take offense to that and report me. You'd like to think that, but it's being used otherwise. Yeah. Would you, though? I might have to get a new sponge tomorrow. Just as my understanding that everything is written in a very open format, and it's very disturbing. And I'm sure you could agree with me on that. Ooh, sun just came out. This is starting to go where I want it. I think. I hope. Make the base of the thrusters a little darker. So what else is everybody working on today? Did you go someplace? Oh, another reason I've been kind of weird the past few days. Aries knows about it. Um, just been kind of dealing with things here. Um, Jen has lost 5 family members since February. 4 more just died in a house fire. So she's going to have to go back up to Washington in a few weeks for more. Oof. And seriously, what are you doing here watching me? Go sleep, please. I didn't even know if that went through, or if that. I don't even remember mentioning that because I try and watch you at work sometimes when I'm on my lunch, but when you work in a Faraday cage, the signal sucks. You know. Oh, okay. I couldn't remember when. I personally didn't know these people, but we've just been trying to get things together and make sure she'll be able to go up there and coordinate things with my work and her work and all that stuff. So, okay. Do I use the acrylic washes or do I bust out the oils? I might do a mix of both. I'll work with the acrylics first and then bust out the oils for like streaking and stuff like that. I just want to play around. It's an anime kit. It's not like I can do it wrong. It's a headless ostrich with thrusters on its wings. Except it existed long before the Eldar. But yeah, the feet especially, that reminds me of what you're working on right now. Could this be another case of the supposed appropriation that everybody sees Games Workshop doing? Probably not. It's not as blatant as the PKE meter. I kind of like what that's doing right here. Let's keep playing with that for a second. Because once I get these on, I want to do a flat coat, and then we'll get the oils out. KMFDM is not what I want to hear right now. Why did that not show up over here? Weird. Did I miss something? I know we have one person on YouTube watching. Maybe that scared him a little bit. Well, besides the facehugger, what did I miss? Besides, 95% of my teenage life, what did I miss? Oh, I see. Thank you for the bits. Every little helps. I'm afraid I am not gonna cause myself self-harm for bits, though. I don't know what I could do for that. And I don't mean the self-harm, but for more bits. Hot sauce would kill me, I know that. And somebody else already has that one, so I'm not going to steal that bit. I really like how these acrylics are working on this. That that does have potential, and it is something I do plan on working toward. Just to see if it would work, get it printed out and then take a day to set everything up, put the figures in, and just let it go and monitor it. I know, I just need the time to print it out and build it and paint it and make sure it's watertight. It wouldn't take a lot of fluid, but I'd need to get dry ice I'd have to rip one of the smoke machines out of my tanks or something to make it look like a hot tub without actually having to heat it. The hot tub's the easy part. I've only got so many hours in a day, man. Yeah. I'm sorry I haven't been in. My only days off to really watch the stream are days that you don't stream. Otherwise, I'd be in there and at least doing one saucing a week for you. It's not like I'm not watching anymore, I just can't watch. You think people might be building up their saucing revenue pool to let it loose on your birthday? Honestly, I wouldn't even plan on getting anything done on your birthday stream if that's the case. It's just the way the days fell. I'm not happy about it. The manager's not happy about it either, but it's just the way it worked out. And we're getting into a disgustingly heavy busy season. And I'm not happy being one of two people closing at nights where we have all these responsibilities we got to do that we can't get done. Because, well, people won't stop. Like, we don't get time to breathe to do our tasks because the customer traffic is so demanding. There you go. Aren't you repainting him? I thought you'd said something about that. It was it was just 7 days, but it was 7 very long days of 9 to 10 hour shifts, and it's like, really? Come on. But it's just how it fell. I was getting, 2 days off a week still. It's just how those days off fell. Yeah, using these watercolor or these water based um, washes is almost like painting with watercolor. I haven't painted with watercolor in a very long time. But next, like I said, though, next week's Days off look like they're going to be Monday and Thursday. Oil washes are actually easier to work with, I think. But that's because they don't dry as quickly and they're much more forgiving. The acrylic washes, you really kind of got to be quick with them or know about how to layer them to get them to really work nicely. So I think that's a good start for that. Just got to do around this here. Then we'll work on the legs, and like I said, we'll bust out the oils in a sec. Unfortunately, this is a rather boring subject anyway. But one of my display cases is 50% Macross, so I have a lot of room. Actually, not much room. The room is actually filling up. It's just I need it in there for the completion's sake. That was my wrist that just went snap pop. I mean, let's face it. When it comes to Macross stuff, what's more exciting? The egg on legs, the female Zentraedi battle pod, right? Or the VF1 Batroid with Super Pack. Sun came back out again. So, what do you guys think of Alien Romulus so far? I know the trailer's not doing much except giving us fanboy fantasy fulfillment. But as we know with Alien films, that doesn't always work. But they're actually keeping hush hush on it, so there's not much more we can know. Yeah, look it up real quick. Part of me wants to have high hopes, but seeing like 8 to 10 facehuggers boil out of a room when the door opens is another thing. It seems to be stealing a little from Isolation as well, as apparently a lot of the action takes place on a space station, and your ability to leave it gets destroyed. Tell me where we've seen that one before. And it happens between Alien and Aliens. Shocker. But apparently there's no Ripley in it, so Amanda or Ellen. At least as far as I know, outside of fan speculation, no characters have been named. Hmm. Just get back to me once you've watched the trailer and give me your thoughts on it. You want me to search real quick and get you the right one? I can do that. Just give me 1 second. I'll save you the issues. Then we'll get onto the legs for this thing. Yeah, now that I'm starting to get the panels outlined and the details popping, I'm feeling this model a little more. Okay. Ow. Somebody just commented on something, but I can't see it. Where the hell did that one come from? The chick with an alien mouth coming out of her? What the fuck? Don't tell me they dropped another trailer. Here's the one I have seen. The one I just linked is the real one. I haven't looked at the one that Ares linked to. Ares looks like he got the same one. Yeah. So either the one I linked to or the one Ares linked to are the right ones. It looks like the action could be good, but I don't know about story. One moment, please. Yes.
Oh, I was going to come down and tell you that my boss approved me to take like an hour and a half lunch during the day, so that my shift will extend till 8.
Okay.
So I get my shift back. Hey, it's $100 a paycheck. So.
Gaming the system, huh?
She said she was totally okay with that.
I'm glad you got a boss that you get along with finally. Any news from up north?
Not yet.
Ares says condolences.
Thank you.
Solway does too.
Yeah, they're looking at probably the third week in May for the services. Third weekend in May.
Okay, that's good.
Before Memorial Day.
But after all the work stuff, yeah. So, yeah, just whenever.
Yeah, they're gonna get after today. Things will pick up and they'll get dates. But they're looking at that weekend before Memorial Day.
Okay, but after the 7th.
Yes, it's like the third weekend in May.
Just write the dates down to me for me so I can get them to my boss for the possible date right now, and she can start configuring for it.
Okay. Well, you can look up on the calendar. It's third weekend in May, the 17th through the.
Yes, I understand, but I need to know the dates you're gone, not the dates of the service. Just from the way the trailer looks compared to Prometheus and Covenant, it looks like a more competent Alien film. That's what I want to know. It looks like Alien Isolation with some callbacks to Aliens thrown in. Yeah, we have Alley Girl. And I'm listening to Aries' favorite song now. Come on. What are you doing, girl? Yeah, you're just over a year old now, girl. Hi. We're getting a grand visit from Allie the princess. At least she thinks she is. Let me get that off the table so your butt doesn't knock it over. What are we doing? Huh? Is it time for the cat part of the stream as it is? Huh? Is it time for a catermission? Huh? Mm. What? What, no prairie dogging today, huh? Come on. Come on. Give us a prairie dog. Come on. Come on. You can do it. No, not today. Only for mommy when she's trying to use the bathroom in the morning. Oh, stretch and almost fell off the table. If you can stay there, I'm going to keep painting. You can be background decoration, okay? I found her favorite rubbing spot, I think. Yep, those semi-bald patches right in front of her ears. But that's kind of what I got from the previews always, like, same old ideas in a slightly new place. The thing that kind of put me in the zone eventually was when it got to the scene of her with the rifle coming out, and it was exactly the same angle and pacing as Ripley leaving the elevator with the pulse rifle in Aliens. It's not supposed to be, but it really does feel like it. Now, the only way that it could work as such, like a continuation and reboot, an anthology, put it that way, is if the company went to LV 426 after the events of Alien, but before the establishment of the colony, because the colony was there for 20 years. Alien happened 57 years before Aliens, so there's a 30-year gap. They could have gone and found the ship, kind of like basically what happened in Isolation. Hey, no nipping. There are no Star Wars sequels, just like there's no Picard. There are no Star Wars sequels, just as there is no Star Trek past 2009. If you really want to get technical about it. I like my Star Trek to be hopeful and forward looking, not mired in the current times and vengeance and yelling and screaming. Outside of the original Star Trek 2, because that dealt directly with events from a TV episode. Not only was it a planet sized Death Star, apparently that's where the Jedi used to get their crystals from. The same ones that were being dug up on Jeddah and robbed from the temples in Rogue One. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really follow Clone Wars or anything else like that very much. All I know is Disney shot themselves in the foot. They know it, and they're trying to backpedal so hard they're tripping over their own failures. Let's throw out almost 30 years of novels and other books that have been written that we could use for stories. Oh, wait, no one likes what we're doing. Let's rape the corpse of the thing we threw out for characters and ideas. Did you like Rogue One, the books? Here's our version of it for a modern audience. Or not Rogue One, the books, but the Rogue Squadron, the books. Did you like Heir to the Empire? Here's our version, but without Luke and Mara Jade. For a modern audience. Get excited for product. Consume product. Technically, the books never were canon. Only the stuff that appeared on screen. Even Lucasfilm back in the day said that. However, you're right. There is no previously established stories with which to draw characters and story ideas from, and that was laughable. So technically, they aren't wrong, as unless it happened in the movies or one of the films and TV series since, none of what was in the novels was technically part of any kind of canon outside of the novels. But to be fair, I really wasn't looking forward to a movie with the Yuzhan Vong in it anyway. That was the weakest Star Wars idea ever. The things from outside the galaxy that used rocks and living things as weapons instead of machines. They destroyed machines. They couldn't be sensed in the Force. They were like the major, like, they were a mega version of like kids playing in a sandbox with their toys, and oh, my toy is immune to this and that, you know? That's what the writing was like. And they were called the Vong, the Yuzhan Vong. They came from outside the galaxy, so they had no connection to the Force. At least not our version of it. Yeah, it was a whole bunch of stupid shit. Chewie wound up dying. Mara Jade wound up getting killed by Jason Solo after he turned to the dark side. Um, yeah, like I said, a whole bunch of shit. Then the original Ben Solo died. Not the one that became Kylo Ren, but the actual one that was written back then. Um, or no, Ben Skywalker. That's right. It wasn't Ben Solo. It was Ben Skywalker. It was Luke's son. Like by the end, there was like Dune levels of political intrigue and crisscrossing within the Skywalker family alone that made it kind of stupid too. Yeah, the late '90s, early 2000s was a really dark time for Star Wars storytelling. Regardless, it was harsh. Nope, haven't seen it. From what I heard, though, they tried to make Paul a hero, which he definitely was not in the books. Unfortunately, he was the end result of a lot of manipulation, not anything more. But they tried to make him out to be the hero or a hero. What? Granted, the books do kind of do that when you get towards Children of Dune and Dune Messiah. There is an uprising kind of against him within the Fremen. They try and kill him. Um, oh, did I just give away a spoiler that's over 40 years old? I'm fucking sorry. Um, but yeah, I've about had it up to here with bullshit. He did start the Holy Wars, but in the movie he did, or in the books? Because in the books, the Holy Wars were started in his name, but he personally did not condone them. And that's part of what Dune Messiah is about, especially when he disappears and his children are growing up without him. In the movie, he starts them. Gotcha. Yeah, in the books, he did not. And he even wasn't he wasn't the true Kwisatz Haderach either, as he was made out to be. He was, it, basically, Leto the Third was. Or did they not? Did they not have him have a son with Chani in this that got killed by the Sardaukar or by the Harkonnen during the big war with the Harkonnens? Because Leto in Children of Dune is actually Leto the Third, counting his father and his first son that got killed. Okay, so they left that out too. If you want to watch a good iteration of Dune, watch the Sci-Fi Channel version. No! Bullshit! Lady Jessica was a Harkonnen, but she was a concubine, so she could never marry the Duke and seal the breach between the Harkonnens and the Atreides. She was the Baron's niece. So Paul is related to the Baron, but he is not the son of the Baron. Yeah. So yeah, he's the nephew. So that part is right. But if you want the right story for Dune, watch the Sci-Fi Channel version. It gets the story correct. Production value, take it or leave it. It is Dune, and it's the only version to get it right from a story standpoint. I like it. The perfect version would be if the Sci-Fi Channel version had the production value of the 84 one. Yeah, you found it and sent it to me. Children of Dune is very well adapted. And it's a pre-Professor X John McAvoy. And honestly, the Sci-Fi Channel version of Children of Dune showed a slightly higher budget with all the effects they had to put into the story. But it told the story extremely well. Even though that version encompasses two books. It encompasses Dune Messiah and Children of Dune. Dune Messiah covers their birth and Paul's falling out of favor, where he then gets betrayed, and they set off basically a nuke. They call it something else, a sand scorcher. But if you've seen the Sci-Fi Channel version, you know it. Skarsgård, he did a good job. I think they downplayed the hedonistic nature of the Harkonnens a little too much. Because you were supposed to just absolutely detest them. And this, it just makes them seem like fat, greedy overseers. But the way they were written in the books and played in the sci-fi versions, you detested them. Oh yeah, he was great in Chernobyl. He was unrecognizable in Dune. How much screen time did Fade get? Because I know in the 84 version they played up his character a bit to give Sting more screen time. But in the book he had almost nothing to do and really didn't show up till the very end. So they kind of kept his character right. I do like that they gave Raban more to do. I know some people seem to have a thing against, what's his name? What's his name? The guy who plays Drax, and he's in Blade Runner 2049. And that's about right. The only other thing is Raban's head getting served to the Baron on a plate or a platter. Oh, that's one of the key scenes. The Baron is meeting with the Emperor. The Emperor knows how he's fucked up. So he has Raban's head presented to him. So how is Christopher Walken as the Emperor of the known universe? Shaddam the Fourth. I thought so. Not enough weight, and I don't mean that as in physical weight, but like just you don't see him as that kind of empowering representative. And he didn't in the book either. They actually invented more screen time for characters in the '84 film, which I think actually explained the story better. I know people will hang me for that, but that's what it is. So we've got the dull coat on. I'm going to go get my oils out here in a sec. And we're going to start adding some just more rusty, earthy tones to it. So it sounds like they... Bullshit! That's bullshit. Then they can't do the other stories without it. Even though she dies giving birth to the twins in the next part, they broke it. They can't do it. They broke it. They can't properly do the story. Paul was supposed to be married to Irulan in name for the sake of the universe in terms of governmental stuff, because essentially the Emperor was left alive but stripped of his power. Well, yeah, he's supposed to marry her for appearances to end the war. But he would always be with Chani. Looks like I'm not watching that shit. Way to fuck up a simple story, guys. No, you didn't ruin it. You only confirmed what I suspected. Did Zendaya do anything as the character, or did she just squint and pout at the screen a lot like the first film? Because, you know, Chani was actually supposed to do something in the story, and sounds like she didn't. Well, the good thing is I still have the '84 version, the Sci-Fi Channel version, and the books to enjoy. I don't have to empower this shit behavior. Right? No, but that's what I'm saying is if I want to enjoy Dune, I can read the books or watch the sci-fi version or even the '84 version and have the core of the proper story told. So, Alia wasn't even born yet she's supposed to be a key player in Dune Messiah. She kills the Baron! Holy fuck. Who killed the Baron in this? dumb. Kind of like in Walking Dead when they killed Andrea, they removed the ability to tell the rest of the story properly after Negan comes into the scene. So as it sits right now, there's no way for the twins to be born. Alia won't be in charge of Arrakis during the events of Dune Messiah and Children of Dune because she doesn't exist. I almost want to go up to that pompous, overhyped director, because I've seen The Arrival, I've seen Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, he does good visual work, but like Ridley Scott, he fucks everything else up. I'd like to ask him if he even bothered to read the book. Or books. Because with the changes he's made, the story can't work. And honestly, I don't think they'll get Jason Momoa back to play Duncan in the later stories when he's the clone remade by the Face Dancers. It feels like Duncan was the only character that got right in casting and writing. Oh, wait, that's right, because he died, and he was actually happy and loved life. He wasn't depressed and sulking all the time and pouting at the camera. Well, I know not to waste my time on it. Thank you very much. No, because Paul wasn't cutting himself. In this case, even watching it is wasted money because I could do something to make money in the time it takes to watch it. If I'm going to take the time to watch that, I could stream now, you know? That's 2.5 hours I could do a stream. Even the money I'd make in ad revenue on that would be worth it. You wasted bandwidth on it. I should really clean my lens. Yeah. It's got Defingi prints all over it. But thank you again for the warning. I'm glad I won't be wasting any time on that. Sounds like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is like a Shakespearean masterpiece compared to what they did with Dune. And people overreacted to a manipulative plot element in that, which actually worked very well for what it was. Okay, there's my... And where's my oils? I want the black and the burnt umber. I just wish I could have got those parts for the car. I have been unhappy now because of that. Because it needs the lower grille. It's been missing since I bought it. It's only cosmetic. It's not even functional. It just fills in a blank spot in the lower grille. I reverse them for better clamping force on some things, and you can open them a little wider. So, where am I? I don't know where I am anymore. Is that a sign of Alzheimer's or just me being stupid? She just answers with a yes. Allie. She's asleep on the couch. Well, shut up. Unless you're going to break into a chorus of Kyle's mom is a bitch from South Park, I don't want to hear it. And that's back from when South Park was good. That's okay. I took Michelina's pot pie to work for lunch the other day, and as I was going to cook it, I work in a weird place sometimes. I made a South Park reference. I said, "No, Kitty, it's my pot pie," and my boss, she comes back with, "Mom, Kitty's being a dildo." There we go. I hope he fell asleep. I really don't want to hear about him having difficulties now. Got enough going on. Right now I just need to keep the friends alive. And I know he's got a lot going on, but he needs sleep. Like, if he's still in here lurking because, he fell asleep at the wheel, fine. But he's not going to be any good to anybody if he doesn't get some sleep. Watch, he comes back. I didn't fall asleep. Still here. Nope, didn't fall asleep. It's been hard for me to concentrate lately, I gotta say, though. Like, I even downloaded Cyberpunk 2077. I couldn't get past the tutorial. I just don't have the brain power for things lately. Like, not anything extremely complex. Doesn't it? I know, I wish I could have some of this sleep thing myself, but without the medication that I have to take to get it. I just like to be able to sleep normally, not requiring any kind of sleep aid. I think it's something I used to do when I was a child. It sounds familiar. May give what a try, Sleep or Cyberpunk 2077? Oh, okay. Well, if you try it soon, I hope it comes naturally and is not forced, and it's not the kind where you never wake up. That's the bad sleep. We don't want the bad sleep. We want the good sleep. We don't want the forever sleep just yet. Enough people I know lately have gone to the forever sleep, so let's not do that. There's too many dogs and cats out there that need petting for the forever sleep. Working off the camera here. Why'd you say something? You were pooping? Thanks. I really needed to know that. I didn't ask what you were doing. So I'm applying this in a very thin, almost tint, just to make the white appear used and to knock down the blue a hair. Oh, and they're making a fifth Matrix movie, apparently. Can we have a new idea, please? Damn it, Solway, we thought you were asleep. We were hoping you were asleep. Sleep is good. He has proven us wrong yet again. Yes, it was. The only thing I will give Resurrection credit for is, given everything going on and the time it was made, extremely self-aware and self-mocking in a lot of ways. Like, even the director is making fun of the importance that others imply the film has in it, which I will give it that. Oh, not saying the movie was good. I'm just saying I will give it that much in that even the director understood that it was shit. It didn't need to be made. And they had to just make up shit on the spot. And you could see it from in the film from beginning to end. Yeah. What ruined the second and third film for me wasn't so much all the crap going on in the film, but all the metaphysical shit that the fans, for lack of a better word, implied in the movie. Given the, Freudian level of shit that was going on in the film, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and what else they're seeing is probably bullshit. I mean, if they want to make another one, how about this? If you watch the Animatrix, there's that animated scene, the two-parter where they go over the creation and destruction of the robots and humanity, how they darken the sky and all that. Let's see that. Flesh that out a bit more. Let's see how that world fell. Because I think even that little two-parter didn't have enough time to really convey what was going on. I didn't like the kid in the high school scene, even though he was the guy toting ammo to the amp suits. Hey, Robert. So that character is the kid from that part of the Animatrix, and the one with the sprinter was kind of out there. But the idea of that was cool, and how through his sprinting he almost woke up. McFarlane Toys did a very good large Sentinel back in the day. I think you can still find it on eBay pretty cheap. It had the flexible arms and everything. They also did a amp suit in scale with it, but it's not a kit. You can buy it and repaint it if you want. It was huge. I had it when I lived in England. Came out shortly after the second film. How you doing, Robert? Sorry I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been on a lot myself either, so. Well, considering the Sentinel was ever only really CGI, I don't know what studio scale would be. Eek. Be a shame if it was just a recast of the other one pulled apart. Yeah, this is the Hasegawa kit, Robert. Ooh, I think my wife's making dinner. I'm gonna go upstairs and see what's for grubs. I'll be right back. We're just throwing the oil wash on it real quick. It's almost done. I don't know. I don't have anything planned tomorrow, right? I know I complain a lot about being tired lately and all that shit. And I know it seems a little impromptu. Should I try for a marathon stream tonight and just say fuck it, since I don't have to go anywhere or be anywhere tomorrow? I'd have to take a break for dinner. So there's a guy out there who got in trouble, Solway. Remember the Bird of Prey that was out? The studio scale Bird of Prey? He was selling other people's files. I think that might be him. He didn't have permission to reproduce them. Which is, in the 3D printing world, that's tantamount to recasting. Selling and taking, saying that you did it all. Taking credit, yeah. But there was a big thing on, like, Resin Illuminati and some of the other boards about him. But size for size, honestly, I'd rather have the McFarlane one. It's posable. So if you wanted to have it like hanging on the corner of your shelf with the arms hanging out, you could do it. But finding one in decent shape these days is the biggest problem. So Robert, you still there? Because not only do I have a battle pod, keep your eyes on the screen, I have this in scale. Hasegawa's been busy. And they're doing the YF-19 Batroid in 72nd scale due out this year. But if you want to try the pods out, they're actually snap-together kits. Yeah, this is in scale with the Batroid kits that they've had for years. So that's in scale with this. And the female pod's in scale too. It's 72nd scale. The only other one out there is the 144 scale one by Arai, I think. Actually, before we're not going to do more oil. I want the more brown tone of the other wash that I've got. I want to speckle the legs some more. I kind of like what that did. I like how that spattering went down there. But I need to walk around break. I'm going to go see what the wife's making for dinner because I could swear I smell cheeseburgers. I'll be right back. Thanks. I'll be right back, though. Ow! Callie girl. All right, I'm back. So I think I'm smelling the neighbors cooking. Because she's still in a meeting at work. Get a fan brush out. Soak up the thinner. I won't need that anymore. Yeah, the Zentraedi pods are interesting, if a little weird. I'm trying to impart that old, dirty look to them, though. Like, they're just used and never cleaned. They kind of remind me of, I think maybe they influenced Simon Stollenhag in some of his work. It reminds me a little of the Jacob robot from Tales from the Loop. And still no files for that. I'd love to print that thing out. Okay, which song is this? Even in Macross, fortunately, in terms of the story, Robotech didn't change a lot. So what applies to Robotech applies to Macross. The only thing that really changed across that board was the meaning of the word protoculture. And Robotech is a power source, and Macross, which is the true storyline, it was the culture that created the Zentraedi and the humans and the Separation Army. I am a Macross nut, I'm afraid. Okay, fan brush was not the right choice for that. Worth a shot. I wanted to try something different. But yeah, so far 23 and 24 are being really good years for Macross models. 'Cause up until now, the only YF or the only F-19 Valkyrie Batroid kit we've ever had is the crappy one from Wave for Neki Bashira's YF-19 or F-19, VF-9, whatever you want to call it, from Macross 7, which unfortunately we have to like Macross 7. It's weird, but we kind of have to allow it because it sets up a lot of what we need for Frontier and Delta. The only thing I really don't like about 7 is towards the middle, it really got boringly repetitive. It was a 50 episode series, 50 plus. So it was even longer than the original Macross series. Um, and a lot of it did help build the worlds, but at the same time, you probably could have removed quite a bit of it and still told the same story. One good thing about Macross 7 is Max and Miria were the main characters, or were the carryover characters outside of the main characters in the series. And there were actually some other characters from the first Macross series in it. The Destroid Monster crew. So the battleship turret on legs got a little bit of showtime. For which one, Macross or just all of it in general? I've got bootlegs of 7 from, God, 2002. They still work. It was a good series. Even Frontier, Frontier and Delta, well, Delta kind of goes kind of down the 7 route. It still doesn't demean the original fans, like people my age and your age, you know, those of us who watched it originally in 82, 83 time frame aren't alienated by the new stories, right? They build off the backs of the others sequentially. Like in the final episode of Frontier, even though it hasn't been dubbed in English, if you've seen the Japanese version of Macross Plus, you'll know the character's voice. Isamu Dyson shows up in his cream-colored YF-19 in the final episode. You know, it's just such a medley of everything in that final episode. It's crazy. And Delta seems to counter what Shoji Kawamari's been saying for years. They released the Macross Delta movie, which kind of answers at least where Lady M is from. That's the main, I don't want to say antagonist, but the main mystery of the series is Lady M keeps getting mentioned. Well, in one of the sequences in the movie, a fold opens and you see Mega Road 1, which is the ship that Misa, Hikaru, and Minmay left on at the end of Do You Remember Love and Flashback 2012. So they're kind of tying it all back together, but something has happened that they haven't got to that part of the story yet. Oh, I like what this is doing now. This thing almost needs a destroyed city base with half of a Valkyrie Batroid sitting on the ground. And I'm not about to sacrifice a Batroid kit. I might print one out and use it. I don't know how late I'll be able to stay up tonight, but I think after dinner I'll be back on. We'll start on something else. Maybe the Zentraedi kit. I don't know. What do you guys think I should work on? The female Zentraedi. Start painting on this character, or just kind of go with the flow. Because we are going to be doing dinner here shortly. Got to get the son fed and the wife fed. But I can either start painting on her while I print out the last of her hair, or work on a plastic kit. Decals I don't need, but I should keep these. They might come in handy on something. Or we could even do something just brainlessly stupid from Big Firebird. I've noticed that the internet's been weird all over the place, especially out here in the West. But yeah, we can also work on this. I mean, I got plenty of things to work on. That'll give me a reason to get this character's part off the printer, too. So she'll be about 1/6 scale. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think we'll do a marathon. See how long I can last. But that'll start after dinner time, so I don't know exactly how long that'll be. Honestly, I haven't either. Outside of work, my days off have been kind of hit or miss. And I've been trying to use those to get caught up on what I can't do during the week because of the hours I'm working. And like the main thing I've been focusing on is the Enterprise. That's 99% done. I have some windows to touch up and some minor lighting things to work out, and it's done. So now that that is done, I want to be able to kind of get some of these frame arms girls and ATK girls and Macross kits out of the way. Maybe even work on the Fennec and the tank transporter. But that's what I'm looking at. And as far as motivation, we'll see. But I've got some simple kits that I just like to slam together that don't require paint, hardly any glue, maybe some decals, and just get them finished. That's what I'd like to do. But yeah, let me get dinner done, and we'll probably be back on later tonight to start with. I don't know. We'll throw things at the desk and see what sticks. How's that? See how long I stick. You know, am I gonna be like bird crap on a windshield, or am I gonna be like tree sap on your sleeve? Who knows? But I'll go for now since we basically finished that, and I want to go help the wife with dinner. And I will see you all later. So thanks again, Aries, for the bits, and I should be back on in roughly 2 hours. So hopefully we'll have a long night of it.